What's up, guys? It's MB Boxing. I just finished up watching Gabriel Rosado versus Bektemir Melikuziev at 2, and this was a 10-rounder in the super-middleweight division, and this fight was Saturday, April 22nd, from the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas, Nevada, and this fight was broadcasted on Showtime pay-per-view and DAZN pay-per-view, and in this fight, Bektemir Melikuziev got his revenge over Gabriel Rosado, defeating him by a wide and clear unanimous decision. So I personally scored this bout 99-91 in favor of Melikuziev. All three judges also scored it the same at 99-91, respectively, in Melikuziev's favor. So Melikuziev definitely won this fight. It wasn't the most exciting fight. The crowd was booing a lot. But, Melikuziev got the job done. Finally getting that rematch over Rosado. Their first fight obviously happened in July, or I believe it was June or July of 2021, where he got brutally knocked out. One of my favorite knockouts of that year, where he got brutally knocked out in the third round. But here in this fight, just to break it down round by round, the only round I did give to Gabriel Rosado was round 2. Not much really happened, but Rosado did land a big right hand in that second round on Melikuziev, and that was really it for Rosado's offense. Rosado didn't really have any good offense throughout this entire fight besides that right hand in the second round, which did effectively win him the round. But every other round, besides the first round, the first round wasn't exciting at all. Not really much happened, but I edged it to Melikuziev based on sort of dictating the pace of the fight, like the one moving around, the one pressing Rosado, but nothing really happened in the first. But then from rounds 3 through 10, Rosado got outworked. It's not like Melikuziev had this crazy high output. He really didn't compared to his other fights. He tried boxing a bit more in the middle rounds compared to his other fights where he was digging to the body more. He was headhunting more in this fight. But he was just overall much more active than Rosado, landed some good shots in some of these rounds. Like in the 5th round, Rosado was backed up with a nice left hand. In round 8, Melikuziev was able to land a sequence of left hands on Rosado in the corner. But every other round, like I said, from rounds 3 through 10 was just clear in favor of Melikuziev. Just outlanded him, outworked him, landed the better shots. Rosado didn't really do much back. So, Melikuziev did what he had to do, got the decision victory. So, with that being said, what is next for him? He's now 12-1, avenged his one and only defeat. This is kind of odd because he did fight in a Showtime card, despite being obviously a Golden Boy fighter, but it was also broadcasted on DAZN. But the Showtime commentators, because that's where I'm watching it from, the Showtime commentators were talking about how that possibly he could fight Morrell, something like that, something about Morrell and Melikuziev, possibly next, because Morrell's fighting in the co-main event. Obviously, when I post this video, the fight didn't happen yet, but David Morrell's fighting in the main event, or the co-main event, and he's clearly expected to win. So, possibly for Melikuziev, what could be next? I know that Melikuziev, I'm pretty sure he's ranked by the WBA, and I think he's in a decent spot by the WBA as well. Unless maybe not, since he did lose to Rosado, but I'm pretty sure even before that he had some type of WBA title, like a continental title or something like that, unless I'm thinking of his ranking before the knockout in 2021, because I haven't really been looking at the rankings too often. But for Melikuziev, maybe, who knows, he could possibly get a title shot at Morrell's regular WBA title if things work out with like Golden Boy and PBC like negotiating. But considering in recent times that it hasn't been great between the two in negotiating fights, I know we have this super fight in the main event between Garcia and Davis, but the track record isn't great between the two between any of these top tier promotions. Melding together and making fights, and it's really, really difficult usually. But for Melikuziev, if he doesn't fight like someone like a Morrell, maybe he should just continue stepping it up. We could possibly see, like Rosado, I would say is like a top 20 level fighter in the super middleweight division. So maybe we could see Melikuziev, or I would say maybe even worse than that, top 25, somewhere around there for Rosado. But for Melikuziev, maybe we could see him against someone who's in the top 15, like an established, good level contender in his next fight, because he obviously does have much higher level skills than a lot of these guys. I mean, he has had an extended amateur career, so I think for Melikuziev's next fight, he'll be in against someone in the top 15 in the super middleweight division, maybe even inside the top 20, like a decent level fighter that he'll get a nice solid win over, and then in the next year or two, he'll be facing guys in the top 10. But as for Gabriel Rosado losing here, I believe it's now the 17th time. He's got a lot of losses. Now, I think in his last 5, he's like 1 win and 4 losses in his last 5, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, I mean, Gabriel Rosado, he's always in there against tough guys. I mean, I got to give credit to him for that. I mean, he's never really faced anyone that's really bad or at all in the past few years. I mean, all these guys that he's been facing are good level fighters, decent level fighters. So for Rosado in his next fight, I think he's going to go back on Golden Boy on a DAZN card and take on a decent level middleweight, super middleweight that he could either pull off a good upset against or that he'll lose a decision against. I mean, Gabriel Rosado is a very durable guy, and I think that's what's going to happen next, like we've been seeing over the years. So overall, Bektemir Melikuziev gets his revenge over Gabriel Rosado, defeating him by a wide unanimous decision to improve his record to 12-1. And yeah, that's really it. I'm MB Boxing. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later.